Hello, my name is Reagan Clement, and I am so happy to be here with you today. This is a message that is near and dear to my heart because I, my friends, am a former messy middle child who has been avoiding routines her entire life, and I've come up with some really good excuses too. So I would love to start. This is going to be a very quick video. I'm basically going to share with you what's worked for me and share with you exactly what my family and I do for our routines. But I want to give it to you as kind of a way to think about your summer rhythm for a peaceful home while the kids are home this summer. And I want to start by just accepting and welcoming any and all negative thoughts you have right now about the word routine. This topic gets all kinds of feathers ruffled. Women get angry. We start using words like, it's a prison. We start saying a lot of things that are, some are true, some are really not true, and some are partial truths. But if you're here today, it's because you desire to enjoy your children this summer. You desire to have a peaceful home with them in it this summer. And you would like to stop getting in this rat race, this normal cultural response of, oh, I just can't wait to send those kids back to school. We know that more is possible, but our lived experience is a little rough. We're a little frustrated with our kids, and we need some tools. All we need to do is be equipped for this summer. So let's get started. So basic concept that I love is baskets over lists. So think of your routine like your home environment. Let's picture your TV stand. Let's picture where your TV is sitting. Maybe it's on your wherever your TV is sitting. Let's look all around it and let's look for cords and remotes and kids' toys and decorations and like just thousands of little things that are everywhere around it. And would you rather see that? Would that bring you more peace, or would it be more peaceful for you if there were like 3 little decorative baskets and all the items were placed in those baskets in this organized way? So all you saw were 3 baskets. Or I think the mother's favorite place is the kitchen counter, right? Like the kitchen counter sometimes will drive us insane when the whole family has just brought all of these items into the kitchen and they're just sitting. And it's almost like the external environment is creating a chaotic internal environment in our minds. This is not just a mother's thing. This is my father struggled with this my entire childhood because I was the kid bringing them out and putting them everywhere. So the same way that we would rather create order and our minds would rather see a few organized baskets than it would like to see all of these items strewn all over the house. Our time, our calendar, the way we live our week is no different. We can allow all of our tasks, errands, and conversations to simply be strewn all over the house, or, sorry, not all over the house, all over the week, all over our calendar, or we can find a peaceful place for each item. When everything has a home, we feel more order, more peaceful, and more calm. And that's what everyone's asking me for every day, is that peace, that calm. That's what we're wanting. We're not getting it right now because this thing is like a noose, and it's a heavy burden weighing us all down. If you're a list maker, like most of us are, it's because you're completely overwhelmed by the number of decisions you have to make per day. This is a crisis. The amount of pressure we feel from our list of this is just an average day of things that I've got to do. This isn't even including all the extra things, right? This is just an average day, and this is so big and so overwhelming. The number of decisions I have to make by noon is enough to make me want to just quit, right? This is why we're numbing out, we're doom scrolling on our phones, we're binge watching Netflix. Some of us are like, oh, I just need a glass of wine. Like, we're doing that because this is so heavy. This is too much for any person to consistently do. It's too much. And what's happening here is that there's no consistency. Every one of these things is happening in a different time, in a different way every single day. And so we're having to recreate the wheel every single day. Instead of making the list, I want to challenge you to this new concept of, or new to me, it's not a new concept, new to me concept of baskets over list. Just give the items on your list a home. Make them all done at a similar place, time, and a way every week. Make it into a rhythm instead of a schedule. These baskets are here to serve you and not the other way around. Allow yourself to pivot, knowing that the entire list will get done because everything has a place daily. So let me give you an example. This is my children's rhythm. Now, biggest mistake parents are making this summer, we're limiting ourselves to our children's rhythm. So even if we create a rhythm, we're putting ourselves in it, and then we're feeling trapped. And it's just one more thing working against us and sabotaging us to have a successful, peaceful home life. So our morning routine, this is my kids, teeth, hair, and clothes. Tidy up your sleeping areas, grab breakfast, and get out your books. Now for us, we homeschool, and so this is but yours might even look easier than this. If you're enjoying your summer vacation, then yours might even look less than this. It might be teeth, hair, and clothes, and tidy up your areas, and grab breakfast. Our AM basket looks like school, and I'm teaching, and we're all meeting at the table, and we're doing our schoolwork. And then after they're finished with school, they get quiet free time until they know that next time when I usually say, hey guys, I'm gonna start making lunch. Can you please tidy up your areas? So what happens is their free time to play, they start getting out things, right? One thing after another and after another. And they look up and they're like 15 things out per kid. So I'm like, hey, it's tidy up time, that midday, and that signals to them, oh, we're about to have lunch. And all I have to tidy is I'm going to go back and tidy up the things that I got out this hour. So if my son Leo went in and out and in and out and got 3 pairs of shoes out while he was doing it, then he goes back and he grabs all the shoes and puts them in the shoe basket. If my daughter got out 75 things for her dollhouse, then she's going to go and just gather up all the doll things and put them in the dollhouse basket. So we're baskets on baskets over here. So that's just to kind of give you an example. Now, that's my kids. Now I want to give you an example of what it used to look like. Let's say it was all sporadic. So they're having their free time because I wasn't ready to start school yet. So they're doing free time. And then I come in and I'm like, hey, guys, we got to get started on school. Y'all come to the table. Come on. Resistance, frustration. They feel unseen, unheard. They're mad that I am interrupting their deep play. If my daughter is in the middle of this deep thought play house doll and the whole families are there in this middle of this big drama, I just interrupted her playtime and told her to come do something I want. And that usually gets me a pretty negative response. It's resistance. And while I can overcome that resistance, how exhausting is that for me to do that every single day, multiple times a day, all summer long? Ugh, enough. For me to feel really peaceful, I need less resistance from my kiddos. I need them to have more joyful responses. I need them to go with the flow. So I have to create that flow, right? So now they know if I'm not ready to start school, they have a couple of things to work on. So they're still at the school table doing school. They have a few things to do independently if there's ever downtime when mom can't get to the table right then. So we still have that general flow, and they know when it's playtime, nobody's going to come and interrupt playtime so that they can come to the table and do school, right? They have expectations. They know at some time during playtime, I am going to interrupt and say, hey, I'm making lunch. Can y'all go tidy? They expect it every single day. So now let's move to your rhythm. Now, your rhythm needs to be separate from their rhythm so that you know that you get to have time for yourself. Now, I can go into this for forever, and I'll keep it really short on this, but the number one thing is this is not just for selfish things. I think a lot of parents are like, well, this is my time to serve my children. Sure, absolutely. But what about that pile of books that you're shaming yourself about that you have not read all year? You said you were going to go read those parenting books and you still haven't. Why? It's because there's no place on your rhythm of life to get that done. And if there's no place to get it done, then it's not going to get done. So you either need to release it and say, I'm not doing this year. It's not in the cards for me, and it's not God's call for me this year. Or you need to strategize and get it into a basket for yourself. When you strategize the things that are most important for you and you get them into these baskets, it gives you this beautiful sense of peace. Your stress level drops because you know, even in the middle of that crazy time right before dinner, right, where the kids are getting a little grumpy, you're a little bit hungry, the things are loud, things are dirty, that 4:30, I call it the witching hour. Even during that moment, you know where the scheduled time is for you. So you can be fully present in that moment without the feeling of like, I never get me time. I've been doing this all day. I've been doing this all week. It's just so stressful around here. Those are lies and they're not true if you have put in time for yourself into your rhythm. And so as messy and chaotic as life can get sometimes and emotional as life can get sometimes, you still have peace knowing that this is a rhythm. And while you might be on this high part of the water, you're going to come back down to this other part. If you picture like waves in an ocean, this is a rhythm. And so you're going to have some highs and some lows, and you know right where they are. And it gives you such an overwhelming peace. You can also create weekend rhythms. And I'm sharing this part not because it's super important. I think the main thing is that you can just see the concept overall. But I share the weekend rhythms because you can see how rhythms are here to be like your servant. This basket over list is supposed to be almost like you hired someone to help you run your household, and it works for you. So on Saturdays, let's say you have a baseball tournament. You can totally shift and pivot your whole day to accommodate the baseball tournament without any stress. You don't ever have to say to yourself like, oh, we're off our routine again. No, your routine is a servant to serve you and your family's peaceful home. But you can still use some of those baskets and not remove them completely. So I'm going to go back to the kids. The kids will still go, you know what? It's a baseball tournament, or it's a family vacation, or it's whatever it is. The relatives are visiting, but we still have this basic flow. We know we're going to have morning routine, lunch, and evening routine. And so, yeah, those other two baskets are going to look different today, but I still have these anchors that are making me feel really stable in the flow. And it helps them respond more positively even when things are off. You know how sometimes you love to go on vacation, but you can't stand how your kids all decided to have emotional meltdowns because of it? The emotional meltdowns often come because they don't know what to expect next. And having those anchors, those baskets, really helps them in that. And it helps all of your life's experience to be more enjoyable. So let's create your summer rhythm. It's really simple. Let's start with your kiddos. You just create this list of non-negotiable things that your kids already do every day this summer. You're already planning on them probably eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Maybe you say, well, we always do an afternoon snack. Maybe you say they always play outside. Maybe you say they always do some cleaning. Whatever that is, get that list of things that you're like, no, we do this every single day. We brush our teeth every single day. So we're going to throw it into a basket so you know to expect that. Because if you don't, they're even going to resist brushing their teeth, right? Because they don't know what to expect. Why? Yesterday we just watched cartoons. Why? Why do we have to brush our teeth? I didn't do that yesterday. So the resistance drops when we get that consistent. So create that non-negotiable list, organize them into baskets, print and share the new rhythm with your kiddos, and get input and make adjustments as needed if that's age appropriate for your children. This rhythm, again, I'm going to say it again and again and again. This is at your service. So this is a printable version that I'll have attached to here to this for you. And you just print this out and you can start making those lists at the bottom. I put 4 lines there for you, but you could have one thing. I mean, it's summer. Some of you, I'm sure, like, I'm not having high expectations for my kids this summer. Great. If that's you, put one thing there, right? Put lunch midday, put lunch and nap midday. Keep it whatever serves your family. But just start getting them into those baskets so that the kids and you are starting to really feel that peace, that rhythm, that flow, that consistent expectation.